Our top story tonight is a conversation that is gaining momentum across Georgia, the future of data centers and what it could mean for local communities. Leaders, experts, and residents came together in Savannah tonight to share their concerns and ask questions about what could come next. WSAV's Isabella Baez was at that gathering. She joins us now with a closer look at the discussion.
That's right, Ben. Tonight, engineers, nonprofit leaders, and elected officials took a closer look at the growing conversation around data centers, as Georgia now ranks among the top 5 in the nation with nearly 200 facilities, and more could soon expand into the coastal empire.
Happening across Georgia right now. The current path, I believe, is unsustainable.
Data centers are large facilities filled with computers that store, process, and distribute the data behind websites, apps, and cloud services. Wednesday night, Savannah Indivisible hosted a town hall meeting, giving the community a chance to discuss what organizers call a growing concern.
Data centers are not good neighbors, mostly because the overconsumption that it provides.
Most data centers in Georgia are currently clustered around the Atlanta area, but developers are now looking towards Savannah, including Pooler and Port Wentworth. Decisions about where these facilities go are increasingly being made at the local level.
Or local governments have not put enough guardrails through zoning, through different local code to hinder or at least put guardrails in place for the development.
A Democratic member of the Georgia Public Service Commission, Peter Hubbard, says many of the concerns stem from a lack of accountability for these companies.
These are multi-billion-dollar companies that can pay their fair share. We just have to ask them to. And right now, I don't think we're doing a good job of that.
Residents also had the opportunity to speak and ask questions, with many focusing on environmental impact, as data centers require large amounts of electricity and water.
As a young lady said, there's reason to be concerned and angry because there's a lot of environmental impact. And we do need to decentralize energy with solar and battery storage.
Another key point raised tonight: while data centers can bring jobs, panelists say many of those positions are temporary and not long term. Isabella Baez, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Isabella, thank you. New tonight, Statesboro Police are asking for the public's help after a series of thefts and property damage incidents in the Lanier Drive area. Over the past several weeks, officers and detectives have responded to several apartment complexes near Robin Hood Trail. Investigators say the suspects, a group of juveniles and young adults seen here in this video they provided, are believed to live nearby. So last week, police say an unoccupied unit at the parks at Lanier was forcibly entered, heavily damaged, and set on fire. Authorities are asking anyone who recognizes these people to contact the Statesboro Police Department. Authorities have arrested a South Carolina murder suspect more than 500 miles from the scene of the crime. 37-year-old Jonathan Roaming was arrested today in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, in connection to a deadly stabbing in Yemassee. The Hampton County Sheriff's Office says the stabbing occurred late Saturday night on Pocataligo Road, leaving 46-year-old Donnie Kennard dead. Roaming now faces homicide and weapons charges and is being held in Pennsylvania, awaiting extradition to South Carolina. New information tonight: a man accused of shooting and killing his brother in Liberty County is now facing more charges. The Liberty County Sheriff's Office says Javaris White has now been charged with murder along with multiple additional counts. The shooting happened in the 6,000 block of East Oglethorpe Highway in Midway on April 4th. 16-year-old Jamonte Hugger was found shot to death inside the home. In addition to murder, White is now facing charges including possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, multiple counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, and aggravated assault under family violence. A 39-year-old woman was found dead inside a Bloomingdale home early Sunday morning, and now state officials are stepping in to investigate. Bloomingdale police responded to a home in the 300 block of Cypress Street around 12:50 Sunday morning. Inside, they found 39-year-old Paige Lewis dead from a gunshot wound. Her body will be taken to the GBI crime lab in Pooler for an autopsy. This investigation is still active. The Chatham County Sheriff is calling out a man he says is the area's most wanted fugitive, and he did it on a fiery Facebook Live. Take a look at Michon Richardson. Investigators say he's wanted by Savannah Police for a string of burglaries and is also facing federal charges from the ATF. The sheriff says Richardson was running from deputies earlier this month in the Westlake Apartments area, and while he was hiding in a car, deputies searching the parking lot found pounds of drugs in the backseat of a different car. Coleman says Richardson is still wanted and was able to get away from deputies by wearing a disguise.
Wore a disguise, y'all. Let me show you how he was dressed. Give me 1 second. Y'all ready for this? This is how Michon got away from us, y'all. This is how the street OG got away from us. This is what he was wearing to get away from us in Westlake. He had a wig on, shades, and a hat. This is Mishan. Mishan, you got to know I'm going to get you. Dressed like this, I'm still going to get you. You can't get away from it.
The sheriff's office has not released additional details about the investigation or where they believe Richardson may be right now. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Chatham County Sheriff's Office. Illegal dumping is becoming a bigger problem across Savannah, moving beyond traditionally affected neighborhoods. As WSAV's Nikaya Harris reports, city leaders say it's not just an eyesore, it is a health and safety risk.
We should send a message, a clear message that if you dump in the streets of Savannah, that we have the surveillance to find you.
What you're seeing here are some of the sites District 1 Alderwoman Bernetta Lanier has documented on social media. She says in some cases the city has responded and cleaned up the debris, but she questions when those responsible will face penalties.
I don't believe what we're seeing as illegal dumping is a resident problem, as residents dumping their items out because they have a path where they could place their items out and they'll get picked up. This seems to be businesses that are dumping on the streets.
Lanier says illegal dumping poses both a health and safety risk, impacting water drainage systems and creating eyesores in the community. She says she's been speaking with city officials, including the city manager, about possible solutions such as increased surveillance in common dumping areas, improved lighting, and potentially higher fines for violators.
I would recommend that we look at those secluded areas, those dark areas, because lighting is another tool that we could use to ward off people that are dumping on our streets.
She believes it's important for city leaders across all districts to be part of the conversation because she says this is no longer just a District 1 problem.
I get many calls on this issue of illegal dumping because it's in our lanes, it's in these particular hot spots. So they're asking for help, they're crying out for help.
That was Nikaya Harris reporting. Lanier says the city manager is calling for council to hold a workshop on the issue to discuss possible solutions. Tybee Island's beach renourishment project has hit a major funding setback. Federal money that was supposed to come through this year has now been delayed to 2027, leaving city leaders scrambling to protect the island's dunes and shoreline. The original plan for the project had a $20 million budget, with Tybee expected to receive $12 million in federal funding. Currently, only $8 million is secured, $4 million from the state, $2 million from Chatham County, and $2 million from the city itself. Mayor Brian West says that city officials are exploring alternative ways to complete the project. Options include disaster relief funds, bringing in additional sand, or completing the project in phases, though he says the phased approach comes at a high cost. West says the news was devastating, but the city is committed to finding a solution before the dunes wash away or flooding worsens over the summer.
Our fear is, of course, we have areas of the island that are in very, very bad shape. We have 60 years of dunes that we've built up that we don't want to lose. So there's alternatives we can do. There's other sources of money. We just have to go to work now to figure out, what's the best, most economic way to, solve this problem.
City leaders plan to introduce the funding challenges during tomorrow's City Council meeting, assuring residents that they are actively exploring other options to protect Tybee's shoreline.